welcome back to another video. This one is what I picked up today from delivery. Another one added to the collection. So this one's the Arcade 1-Up Marvel, the X-Men vs. Street Fighter cabinet from Arcade 1-Up. And I'm really excited to have this one. This is a game I actually used to play a lot when I was a kid, so really happy to have this one. I was a teenager in high school and I used to play this a lot, but really excited with the online feature. This one came with the stand too as well. I'm not sure if the kiosk, I think the kiosk lights up, and this is the online connectivity too as well. So really excited to open this up and get starting on building this. This is just a quick pop-up of what it looks like. Then we'll get into it with it all fixed and put back together. Then we'll kind of look over it together. So I'm almost finished opening up all the pieces to get it ready for setup. Actually, Arcade 1-Up's been doing a really good job sealing these up really good compared to when they first started releasing these Arcade 1-Up cabinets. I remember my earlier days, my asteroid cabinet and all that stuff, it was like just shoved in there and just plastic wrap, that's it. Nowadays, they're putting a lot more foam inserts here, preventing everything, higher durable like plastic wrap, not as much saran wrap as it used to be. Also, this corner tab here, foam, just to keep the corners in good shape. And the labeling, and it doesn't look that much scratches on it, so they're doing really good. Here's some more of the material. They bag it up separately. Even the instructions used to be just slid in there in one piece. Now it's in a nice packaging. So compared to when I first picked up the Arcade 1-Up to now, it's looking really good. Even with the, if you look at here, the control deck, you could see they covered it with foam 2 inserts to keep this from moving too. But yeah, lots and lots of boxes, so they did a really good job packaging in this time. I'll keep you up in just a second. Another thing you can see here is actually the Wi-Fi setup here. So most of the cabinets, older cabinets, didn't have the Wi-Fi setup. I know this one, NBA Jam, and some other ones actually have the Wi-Fi capability, so you could play players online. Haven't heard really any good things about the Wi-Fi online because not a lot of people are playing it online. Most of the people just like it for the nostalgia of playing at home with friends and family. But I'll try it out, see how it goes with the Wi-Fi connectivity and see how it works, if it's worth it or not. But for me, just playing with friends and my family, this would be a good setup for me, so happy with it so far in the progress. You can tell they organize this well. The only part I don't like about putting these arcade cabinets, 1-Up cabinets, is these pieces right here, the triangle clips. These ones are the annoying part because lining up is kind of difficult and you got to use a lot of pressure and force. But you don't want to use a power drill on these because like you're working on fiberboard here. This thing, you do not want to use fiberboard. You just want to hand tighten it and torque it down slightly so it fits snug, but not too much, or you can damage the cabinet in the process. But again, we'll take a quick stop and then pop in again for another quick video. Well, surprisingly, this was actually easier than the last time I did it with the Burger Time cabinet. So they actually screwed in a lot better than last time. I guess with the perforation points on these points, they actually drilled them a little slightly larger this time. So looks like that made it a lot easier for me to get these screwed in better this time compared to my last time doing it. Seen some damage on the backside, but it's nothing big. This is stuff on the inside, so it's not going to be shown. But overall, process is coming along. We'll stop here again and show you the next part. So the larger perforated holes made it a lot easier to screw it in on the side, but sometimes it gets kind of hard doing the screws on the back side of here. The reason why is you don't really have that much, if you notice, room to work with when you're trying to get into there, that point. So you're kind of bumping your knuckles up on against the back of the monitor. So smaller, I think the recommendation would be one of those snake screwdrivers, the ones with a flexible cord, like metal cording, that actually makes it a lot easier to get in there into those tough reach spots. Me, I'm just scraping my knuckles up against it, but it's not too bad. It's pretty short screws, so it makes it easier to finish off really well. So on to the next part. So another nice part about this Arcade 1-Up cabinet is that actually the speakers are not down below where the control deck is. It's a higher point, so it's near the marquee, which is right here, the light up marquee. So it's a lot easier to have this one next to that, easier to set up, in my opinion, but also you get better sound quality if it's at head level instead of below you. So it sounds like you're more into the game more than normal. Excited because I wasn't sure these were the light up kiosks, but it is the light up kiosk version. So I don't know if they only made light up kiosks, but I enjoy looking at that. It gives that nostalgia factor of you being an arcade, having that light up one instead of non-light up. Another thing is speakers remind me of the old arcades too as well, because remembering it being top mount, not that many games were mounted on the control deck for speakers. Some had a couple, but they had more than one set of speakers, so down by the control deck and also by the marquee. So happy with this. We'll continue with here. We just have to place some 4-peg pegboards into the sides of them, two on each side to get it mounted up to the cabinet. So overall, it's looking very well. And for me, I noticed that this one doesn't have the, I guess the older versions had the LED light up on the control deck, but this one looks like, so far I haven't seen it, so I might be wrong, but we'll keep looking into it. Maybe it was a different country version, or I'm not sure if they just did limited run of the lighted up control deck. So we'll keep on going. The next part I just finished up was actually placing this bracket again too. So double-sided, 2 screws on this one, a lot easier. Like I said, the perforations are a lot easier than last time. So looks like they listened to people about these perforations, making it easier to screw in. So these 2 parts going to need to be connected. Kind of see it on the chart here in graphing. So we'll get that part done and see where we're at next. Next we'll be closing it up. So see how far we go. So on the next one. Alright, so this part was actually a pain. The reason why is they have this little wire bracket here that splits the cable from one side to the other side. Well, I had to get these 2 screws in, 1 and 2 right here. And the way doing it, if you notice it, it's kind of hard to with this angle on both sides. You have to kind of pull the wires away, and also to get in there, it's a tight fit. So I recommend, if you have one of these screwdrivers, the Phillips, I can't even get in the picture there, the Phillips head screwdriver with a magnetized on it, or you can buy one of those little, I guess, magnetizers, little magnets that you can touch with your screwdriver. Made it a lot easier, so I can basically hook it up to the tip of this screwdriver and place it in easier with a slight screw and tightening. So made it a lot easier having that magnetized in there. So it was a little bit less difficulty getting that screw in, but it was a pain. So just letting you know, whoever is going to get these cabinets, this one's pretty annoying to get into in those areas. All right, so on to the next part. So here's the next part. It's basically placing the top cover on it. Looks like they changed where the labels are placed on these ones, so it's on top. I remember having mine on the back side of it. Also a couple on the back side of the screen too as well. They had some stickers on there showing all this stuff in there, so I guess they put it on the back here, because I remember the top of mine doesn't have all this information on the older model. So next part is actually just screwing these screws down on the top, on this side panel. Then we'll be on to the next part. So keep tuned and we'll keep on progressing, and we'll show you how this looks finished. Alright, looks like we're making some good progress here. We just got all the screws placed in, so it's looking pretty nice. So we just need to tighten up these screws and also place in the control deck and also the front cover and the back cover and plug this stuff in. So just a reminder, when you're building this one, to make sure you drag on the back side here, make sure you drag those wires from up top down into here so they can already be connected, because they're zip tied to, twist tied together. So make sure you're dragging it through here, or you're gonna have to take this part, this portion off to get inside there to get the access to these wires so you can plug them in. So pretty easy, standard setup. Like, you don't even have to look at the instructions. Speaker cord, so speaker wire to the auxiliary right here, you can kind of see. Then also for the power here, for the light up marquee here. So Wi-Fi connectivity, pretty easy. Then here's a normal plug to hook up. Looks like this one's a smaller plug than the normal ones I see. But overall, looking really good. Getting there, almost done. We'll keep on going. All right, the next step was actually mounting the second part of the monitor to the left, to the other side of the cabinet, on the side cabinet. So just making these points, kind of hard to get to, but like I said, the perforation actually made it a lot easier. That the larger perforation makes it easier to get into the point where you want the position correctly. So overall, it's going well. We'll get some more stuff and we'll continue on. One of the easy parts was next, just sliding in this slab into the grooves, so it actually shows all the games for the system, and also sliding in this part where it goes underneath the control panel so you don't get that open space. So it just looks like a smooth flush motion towards the bottom. So pretty good deal. I know the newer Legacy Arcade 1-Ups have that little picture. They kind of change it up. I'm not really too excited about it. I might not get those ones. Reason why, it kind of messes up the scheme of all of them being the same. I'm really picky on that, so I don't know if I'll pick up. I might not pick up the ones with the, I guess, pre-printed picture or labeled printer with like quarter slots into it. It's pretty interesting and pretty cool to look at that, to make it more nostalgia for us older folks, but it's pretty nice. So I'm happy they have all these pictures of all the games on here too as well. But really excited about putting this together. It's slowly coming together. Takes time, but it's not too bad. It's pretty easy to do compared to normal build, so it's not no IKEA build, so it's a lot easier than that at least. Alright, so got the control panel hooked up and the plug plugged in the back of it. So the only pain with these ones is actually pulling off the little cellophane wrap off the deck protector, the control deck protector, the acrylic. So that's kind of always a pain. You gotta make sure you got some nails to peel that off, and it's double-sided. And you want to be careful not touching the back side of it, so when you put it down, you're not getting fingerprints. Other thing is, I did have some difficulty on one of the screws right here. It felt like it had some restriction. Maybe some particle board was still stuck in there, but I slowly unscrewed it, screwed it, unscrewed it, screwed it, until it got kind of loose in there, and it sits flush now. So I always tell people not to put too much pressure onto these screws. The reason why is you can crack that acrylic really easily. I've seen people do it on these ones, so just take your time and slowly finger tighten these with a Phillips screwdriver. Just make sure you're not pushing too hard, or you're gonna regret it. It's not gonna be worth it. But overall, getting there, almost done, getting to the final parts, looking really good, nice, and looks like not really any damage at all. Alright, plugged everything on the backside, inside here, already set up to go. I always tell people, make sure you look for the F on these ones, make sure it's outwards towards you. Reason why is if you want to be symmetrical, I don't know if it's more OCD than anything, it's because all the plugs on them coming from the right side instead of left and right, you know, back and forth. Sometimes if you want it, you can use it the other way too as well if you're trying to extend the length of the cord, but usually these cords are pretty long, so you don't really need to. But if you want a little bit more distance, you know, and it's on the right or left side of the plug outlet, you can actually flip this and use it over here. The only issue I saw on this one was looking at the pictures compared to this one. You could do it with this board, but the board that they showed in the picture, you wouldn't be able to do the same thing, flipping these to side to side. The reason why is if you look on here, the mounting screws for the 3 points has one by a vent right here, and one on top, one on left. But when you look at this picture over here, there is no hole for a purchase point for that screw. The only purchase point they have is right here, and the two up here. So it looks like 3 points, but I think what they were doing with these ones right here is actually just using these holes as ventilation to get some cool air in. Same as this thing, to get some of the cool air on the bottom, some ventilation. But overall, it's going well. Other side, if I can slide this over for you guys, I actually got the controllers hooked up to it. So controllers are looking good. You know, as close as you can get. These kind of small. It feels kind of small in the hand. I remember, like, it's pretty close to the generic Sanwa controllers. You're never going to get the real thing unless you pay for it and swap them out and use the Sanwa controller joysticks as well. But for the motion, the 8 points, it's working pretty good. Place the little dust covers too on it as well. So at the last final point, then we'll get this thing hooked up and actually running. Alright, the moment has come. Got the other ones already on. You just got to get that feel for, you know, turning on the rest of them. So when it's ready to go, I popped it next to the Burger Time cabinet. But looking really good here. It wasn't that long for you guys, but for me it felt like a while putting this thing together. It wasn't too bad. So first up is just seeing how this looks. Looks really good. Let me pop some lights on here. But it's looking really good on the point of having it like your own little mini arcade. So looks like I'm at 7 right now for arcade 1-up cabinets. Do want those 4-player games like the NBA Jam and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it's kind of hard to get to right now. They keep selling out pretty fast, but let's see how this one looks. See if everything was done right and if it turns on. So take a look here. Kiosk light is on, loading up. It's looking really good. Taking a while here. We'll see what happens. Guess the first boot up is the longest boot up. Hopefully everything's all right here. There you go. So a little bit of a wait there, but everything's working now. So next up is testing everything to see if everything's working on this joystick and controller. We'll wait here for a little bit. Yep. And Wi-Fi setup. So let me go to it and enjoy. Yes, and it looks like you can find your hookups here. I'll pause it for a second and get this thing hooked up and we'll be back again. Just a quick check after the Wi-Fi was hooked up. Now it's starting to do a new update, so I'll let you know when it's all done. It looks like it's going pretty fast. We'll see how long it takes, but I'll stop it for now, see how we're going to do, and then when we get back we should be in the game. Alright, so everything's set up, looking pretty good here, so you can kind of see, you can go through the game. So just the games to let you know what they have here. They have Xmen vs. Street Fighter, they have Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of the Superheroes, Xmen Children of the Atom, and Xmen Mutant Apocalypse, and that is it. So when it comes to it, you can actually see that I'm hooked up already. to the leaderboards. I just need to log in to actually play the online games. I'm not sure how many people are really actually playing this game online. I keep on seeing other videos of this arcade cabinet, same as the NBA Jam. Not that many people play these online. It's more for like home use from people, not really playing with other people over the Wi-Fi. So I don't know how if it's has a lag or anything like that in the future videos. Maybe I'll post it me playing online here, but we'll see how it works. But overall, happy with this kind of setup, and looks like you can actually reverse out of here. Let me go to some of the games. We'll go to Marvel Comics X-Men Mutant Apocalypse and see how it plays. So press start, I think it is. There you go. So we're gonna press the first player to continue. I remember playing this when I was younger, the arcades too as well. Old game. So it's not the fighting versus, if I remember correctly. Let's see how it works out here. Yeah, pretty neat. Excited about it. So, pretty nice setup here. Receiving the reflection there. Hello. And let me see if I can just go to the start. So, yeah. There we go. Press start. Mission mode. Overall happy with this cabinet. The main reason why I got it was for X-Men versus Street Fighter and also the Marvel versus Capcom. So other ones are just bonuses. So happy they always put more than one game on here. It looks like it's 4 games on this one, but remember playing this in the arcade a little bit. So other than that, just hold down the player 1 to go back to the front screen. Oh, this is different. So all the ones they would just reset all the way back to the front screen. This one says, do you want to leave or no? And it's kind of funny they have a punch sound, so press yes, and you're back to the normal screen here. So pretty neat. So again, thanks for watching here. Like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one. If you want, we can do some other videos of me checking out the Burger Time cabinet or one of these cabinets. Just let me know if there's any particular one you're interested in looking at or wanting to pick up and you would like some video feed of seeing how it actually plays and works. Alright? Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.